Have you ever wanted to push someone so badly that your hands were shaking? When I confronted my neighbor about his monster pit bull that had been terrorizing our entire street for months, this guy moved in next door with this massive, aggressive dog and zero interest in controlling it. The thing would escape his yard almost daily through gaping holes in his chain link fence, charging at kids on bikes, cornering joggers, and attacking other dogs on walks. I'm talking full-on snarling, lunging attacks that had parents grabbing their children and running indoors. The mailman started skipping our block entirely. The first time I approached him about it, he laughed. Actually laughed. "Dogs will be dogs," he said, shrugging like his 90-pound killing machine wasn't a problem. He was drinking a beer on his porch at 11 a.m., acting like I was bothering him. I stayed calm, mentioned the leash laws, offered to help him fix his fence, or even pay for half the repairs. He looked me up and down and told me to mind my own business before slamming his door. Second incident, his dog cornered my 70-year-old neighbor, Mrs. John, while she was getting her mail. The poor woman was trapped between the mailbox and his fence while this beast was barking inches from her face. She fell backward trying to get away, scraped her hands and knees bloody on the concrete, and was shaking when I helped her up. When I knocked on his door, furious and holding her torn-up mail that had scattered everywhere, he claimed she was exaggerating and probably fell on her own anyway. The audacity. I could feel my jaw clenching so hard I thought my teeth might crack, but I kept it civil. Third time, his dog got loose during my daughter's birthday party in our backyard. 8 terrified 6-year-olds screaming and climbing on top of picnic tables while this beast circled them like prey. One kid was crying so hard she couldn't breathe. Parents were scrambling, grabbing their children. Someone knocked over the cake table. Pure chaos. I had to physically get between this snarling dog and these babies with nothing but a pool noodle as a weapon, yelling at the top of my lungs for someone to call 911. That's when I marched over there with my hands shaking from pure rage. Not fear, rage. The adrenaline was making me dizzy. I was done being polite, done being reasonable. Your dog almost attacked children at a birthday party. This ends today, or I'm calling animal control and the police. He got right in my face, reeking of cheap beer and cigarettes, started yelling about how I was harassing him and his property, threatened to call the cops on me for trespassing. His voice was getting louder, more aggressive, and I could see neighbors starting to come outside to watch. That's when his girlfriend came out and saw us arguing in their driveway. She looked confused and asked what was happening, and when I explained, trying to keep my voice steady while my whole body was shaking with anger, her face went completely white. Turns out she had no idea how bad it had gotten. She worked double shifts as a nurse and thought he was taking the dog to training classes twice a week with the money she'd been giving him for it. He'd been lying to her face for months, pocketing the cash and letting this dangerous situation escalate while she was exhausted from 12-hour shifts trying to keep them afloat financially. She was mortified, absolutely mortified, started crying right there in the driveway, apologizing profusely to me while screaming at him about what could have happened to those kids. She said she'd handle it immediately, and she meant it. Within a week, the dog was enrolled in professional behavioral training with a certified trainer, their yard was properly secured with new fencing, and she made them both go door to door apologizing to every single neighbor who'd been affected. But here's the kicker. 2 months later, she moved out and took the dog with her. Apparently, discovering your boyfriend will lie about something that could get children mauled was just the final straw in what had already been a rocky relationship filled with his unemployment and drinking problem. Our street is peaceful again, and my hands haven't shaken with anger since.